Hey everybody, it's PDubs, and so far in 2023, Arcade1Up really hasn't come out swinging just yet, but then again, it's only February. Time will tell how this year will play out for them, as we all sit back and wait for new titles and new things to be announced. So far this year, all we've seen come out, or at least be announced coming soon, are a bunch of deluxe cabinets. Cabinets and games we've already seen before, but then again, improved variations of these cabinets, probably higher price tags, and probably and hopefully better quality. As well as so far this year, we saw the release of the Star Wars arcade cabinet, actually the re-release of the cabinet. This is a cabinet that they released a couple of years ago, and now it's been brought back and released, and it's still available today on Shop Hippo, where you can pick up this cabinet, and it's got some minor improvements versus the original cabinet from a couple of years ago. But that is all that's happened so far. Nothing really to get super hyped and super excited about. I myself am losing more and more interest in Arcade1Up as the days go by, because the brand unfortunately feels like they're not going to bring something new and exciting. I like shiny new things. About 5 arcade titles that I would love to see Arcade1Up release, and dedicated cabinets with, dedicated artwork that could possibly reinvigorate my enthusiasm for their products and what they could possibly release this year. Coming in at number 5 for me would be an Afterburner cabinet. Arcade1Up already has proven they have a relationship with Sega, bringing us a Golden Axe cabinet, as well as several Sega titles on that cabinet in years prior. But where are all the other Sega arcade games? One game that I think would be a really big seller and probably excite a lot of folks would be Afterburner. This game was immensely popular, it's super fun to play, as well as there's going to be a challenge though. Can Arcade1Up make a flight stick for this particular game that's not going to break off in your hands like the Tron stick? If they can nail that down and give us a quality flight stick as well as a good emulation experience, I mean, just take a look at this cabinet right here. Who wouldn't want this in their home arcade? Even if it's in a 3/4 scale, this cabinet would look absolutely sexy in your arcade and game room. Coming in at number 4 for me is actually going to be a combination cabinet. That's right, 2 games that I think equally deserve their own cabinet, but which one should have the title, artwork, and marquee and all that, I'm going to let you know right now. And that for me is going to have to be a Williams cabinet from Arcade1Up. They've released Williams games in the past, but we still haven't seen a true twin-stick game. We still haven't seen a twin-stick arcade game or arcade from Arcade1Up in a bundled package. Would love to see Robotron as well as Smash TV put together on the same cabinet. I think a lot of arcade enthusiasts love these games, remember these games, and they're probably 2 of the most popular twin-stick games of all time. And I have to tell you, Michael B., although the Robotron cabinets here, when I look at the Smash TV cabinet here, I gotta tell you, man, I'm going with Smash TV. That cabinet would absolutely pop, look spectacular in your arcade and game room, and probably get a lot of replay value as well. Okay, coming in at number 3 might be a little bit of a surprise for you guys, but I would like to see Arcade1Up partner again with Taito and bring us some Taito games, and what I would love to see would be a Superman arcade cabinet. The Superman arcade game, although it's a bit cheesy, some people may say it hasn't really aged well. In my opinion, it's still a fun play. It's still a fun play to play through, as well as you could load that cabinet up with some additional Taito games that maybe we haven't seen, or maybe you could throw some titles on there that we have seen that people missed out on the prior, Space Invaders cabinet that they released. I think that might have been the only Taito cabinet they released. But either way, the Superman game is tons of fun, at least in my opinion. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, not a whole ton of moves. It just punches and kicks, but there's also some pretty cool levels with some great visuals attached to them. And the music, man, the Superman music, but in like an arcade do-do-do form, is iconic. The ability to where you're flying like Superman in some levels, and in other levels you're just floating as Superman or walking as Superman. Still a super fun game to play, super fun boss battle at the end of this game. And of course, you could add some more Taito titles to it. And when I think about the way this cabinet would look, if you take a look at this picture right here of a Superman arcade cabinet, tell me that's not going to look good in your arcade and game room. Number 2 pick for me that I would love to see Arcade1Up release would be a WWF Wrestlefest cabinet. This is a cabinet that a lot of people have been asking for the last 5 years or so from Arcade1Up. Can they do the impossible yet again, like they did with NFL Blitz and MVC2? Can they bring us this game? Well, John D himself already has had a lot of his Arcade1Up insiders already released videos teasing that Wrestlefest might be coming soon from Arcade1Up, so I'm pretty sure that this cabinet is on its way. But here's the question. Will they be able to get the licensing to have all the wrestlers in there from the original game, including Demolition, who've had their own personal legal issues with the WWE outside the scenes, or behind the scenes, if you will. And of course, you know, having, you know, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, you know, who's now passed away. A lot of these guys are passed away. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Can they get through the licensing to actually bring us all the wrestlers from this game? This game still holds up today, in my opinion. It's still super fun to play. And if you can get this game, try and get, you know, WWF Superstars, WWF WrestleMania. Although this is a Technos title, I think those other games may have been other IP holders. But either way, if you can pull off the impossible and give us this game or a Technos cabinet with other Technos games, I think this would be a big win. Who doesn't want to get in the cage matches? Who doesn't want to do the tag team matches? And who doesn't want to fight the Legion of Doom for the tag team championship? I think WWF WrestleFest is probably the one out of this entire list most likely guaranteed to happen. And let's just hope that it's going to have all the wrestlers. And of course, if you've been following this channel for a long time, you probably know what my #1 pick is. I would love for Arcade1Up to release a Qbert arcade cabinet. Yes, the classic Gottlieb Qbert game, this pyramid platformer game that I've absolutely adored ever since I was younger. He's probably my favorite arcade character, pixelated character that's ever been made. And of course, I love the game. It's stupid, simple, fun, but obviously challenging, especially if you want to get to the high scores, jumping up and down the pyramid, dodging all the enemies. This game is an iconic game from the arcades from when we were growing up. And of course, it's got a beautiful bright yellow cabinet with great artwork on it that I think would look fantastic in any home arcade room. Would absolutely love to see Arcade1Up just get off their asses and release Qbert already. I think it's going to sell, man. I think it's going to sell. The Qbert petition that was out there, the community tried starting a petition. Well, that petition had almost 700 signatures in only 2 months. And it was only advertised a couple of times in a couple of Facebook groups. There were no celebrity yellow deluxe Qbert arcade cabinet with a knocker inside using some kind of solenoid. Hell, use a solenoid from one of their pinball machines. I think people would buy it. But there you go, guys. As you can see, Arcade1Up hasn't started the year off strong, in my opinion. It's only February. We're only about 7 weeks into the year. Let's see what happens for the rest of the year. And hopefully this company can keep me interested, because I got to be honest, man, when companies get stale, I lose interest. So hopefully they can do some of this stuff, maybe release some of these titles, and it'll increase my excitement once again for their brand and what they're doing. But I want to know what you think, guys. What do you think of my list, as well as what are your picks? Make sure you leave those comments, feedback, reactions in the comment section after the video's over. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing.